Well, 45 days ago, SANDAG published a notice of preparation for Del Mar's railroad relocation project. But this sparked concern among residents and business owners. And today at 5, the public response period ended. Join us now in studio to talk more about the good, the bad, and what is next is Deputy Mayor of Del Mar, Teresa Gaasterland. Deputy Mayor, so good to have you here. Thank you.
So good to be here, Teresa.
Well, we have been discussing this for months. It seems that residents and the fairgrounds can't come up to an agreement. We have the options A, B, and C. And before we get into today's meeting, let's go over those options again and what A, B, and C would look like.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, many letters have come in. Many are being forwarded to our city manager, and I've been reading them ever since 5 o'clock. So A is a public lands option. It would start the tunneling downward in Solana Beach, go under the San Dieguito River, and one way or another make its way over to the pump station in Sorrento Valley.
Would that impact the fairgrounds, option A?
We don't know. We need it to be studied. The fairgrounds has stated their worst case scenario in their letter, which is we could be shut down for 10 years. Now that would be a disaster for Del Mar too, because we really depend on sales at the fairgrounds for revenues.
And I was reading that option A is more expensive as well.
It's more expensive, but what's a benefit and what's, an investment, if you will? Saving 2 lagoons. In this case, it would be the San Dieguito River Lagoon with train tracks just out of the lagoon entirely, and then the Los Penasquitos Lagoon on the other side. 2 lagoons back to their original 1880 pristine condition.
All right, and what would option B and C look like?
Okay, so B and C would go into the hill at the same place, right around Jimmy Durante Boulevard and Camino Del Mar. And they'd go through and wind their way, both of them under anywhere from 500 to 750 homes. C would go underneath the Del Mar Heights Road and Camino Del Mar intersection, under a 97 apartment building, under 126 condos in Del Mar Woods. That's really our high density, more affordable area of Del Mar. 300 homes with freight rumbling underneath, 1970s buildings, and this is from the letters, that were not built for that kind of infrastructure to be running under them.
It sounds like option B and C would be more of an impact on residents, but I understand that something has to be done. So if no one could come to agreement for option A, B, and C, what is the next option?
Well, let's think about A, B, and C and what the pushback has been. The folks in Del Mar Woods who have observed, hey, this train's going to be underneath our condos, underneath our cement parking garage.
How far under? I'm sorry.
We don't know.
Okay.
But it has to come out just to the south above sea level rise, high tide line. So not very far below. And they're observing, this train, Del Mar doesn't benefit from it. It goes through Del Mar. The train serves Solana Beach. The train serves Sorrento Valley and San Diego. So we really need to share the burden here.
Yeah, if you're looking at the whole area there, it seems like it's going to impact Del Mar mostly. So what is Del Mar's response to this? Especially from hearing from constituents and the public since it had ended today.
Exactly. Well, Del Mar's response was pushing for an alignment A, which is now being studied. What we've gotten in the pushback, I've read all of Solana Beach's letters and the fairgrounds letter and NCTD's letter. They don't like A for all the reasons stated in their letters. So Mayor Krantz of Encinitas floated at the last SANDAG board meeting in June, what about pulling out those old plans for the railroad tracks down the I-5, dusting them off? Well, I looked across the way at the face of my fellow board member on SANDAG from Carlsbad, and her face lit up. And I realized if we could possibly use this opportunity to catalyze shifting the train to a better place overall, Oceanside, Carlsbad, Encinitas, Solana Beach, the fairgrounds, Del Mar, and 2 lagoons, really 5 lagoons are in that whole stretch, could all benefit. So this NOP process has been a fantastic opportunity for everybody to weigh in and look at this train in this region.
Okay, I wish we had more time, but quickly, what is next?
What's next is complete and utter silence for the next year, in theory. However, so many questions have been raised. I have no doubt this is going to come back. And what's really next is the federal equivalent to the notice of preparation. It's called the notice of intent. So stay tuned in January. We're going to have another bite at this apple.
Hopefully everyone can come to an agreement on this. This is a huge project and it's going to impact so many people for many years. Deputy Mayor Terry Gaasterland, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Teresa.
Our pleasure. All right, Logan.
Like that I-5 option. That could be nice.